roamers, right? We've seen so much of Kadita, we've seen so much of Lolita pop up here, and we know that even Team Hack likes to play with the Kadita. They like also the Lolita here. They have a lot of options. You know that you're going to give up something. The carry's still on the table, by the way. So if you're willing to trade that, whether it be the carry, whether it be the Fanny, then at least you get yourself two of these heroes that have been popping up constantly. Again, a lot of this is going to decide on where you even want to park in the gold lane. The 1-1 being out here, do you take the Beatrix? Do you take possibly even a mage in the gold lane?
Yeah, the Harith, right? The Lunox. But expect that. Now, Incendio Supremacy will now have to decide, do they give out the carry? Do they give out the clue? Two of the strongest heroes out there. And they might go even the route of what we saw from the previous series, where you ban out maybe the glue this time and open up both the carry, Kaja, as well as Valentina. Three of the strongest heroes out there, and get 2 out of 3. So that might be the choice here for Incendio Supremacy. Instead, it's going to be the Yuzhong. Now, Team Hack, what do you decide? Is it carry or is it glue?
Or Fanny, right? To add it onto the mix, Fanny. Oh my God, there's so many crazy heroes up for grabs. This is an insane draft so far. I think this is the most open draft so far.
I would see.
A lot of prio heroes have been left open, but for a good reason. If you're Incendio, you get 2, right? So it's the 2-for-1 special that we saw earlier today.
Correct. I think this should be the glue. Among all of the heroes that are available for Team Hack, that will be the strongest one. It's not like you don't want to give the glue to Incendio Supremacy. We saw that already. They're very strong with it. They know how to utilize that. They know how to rotate with that.
Well,
no,
that's
instead
not
it's a carry.
They decide they opt for the carry here. Still a great choice, but I'm assuming, like you said, Wolf, you're going to see the glue picked up for Incendio Supremacy here. Still, it's like, even the previous series, we saw the carry locked in, and it got shut down in a certain way, right? So there's the glue. It's still working around. It's going to be the Farsa. So
Rosa Farsa.
They've got a great option, with the Farsa, the burst damage there, not to mention glue.
Very early on, though. This is so early, right? A Farsa first pick here up against Team Hawk, who are known to go for those crazy, very divey heroes, right? And Gary, as an assassin player, I think right now he's looking at it. You can see the smiles on Team Hawk's faces right now. They might want to go for something like a Hayabusa that can dive towards a Farsa, perhaps something like a Grok too. That is a very good flex pick into the second phase.
Really love the Grok here. It could be a counter to the glue in a way when it comes to the laning stage. It has good peel for the carry, and you can cancel the ultimate of the Farsa. So I think that's a hero that they should be considering right now. Instead, it's going to be the Fanny. Oh, there it is.
Okay, so they lock in the Grok here, like you guys were mentioning. And again, if Fanny's open and you know that Gary's going to be one of the players playing in the fight, you know that Fanny is going to be opted for, right? So they lock that in. And again, going back to a previous series, you kind of saw how useful a Fanny can be, especially if that early start happens. But now you've kind of got to build around this, right? How do we protect that purple buff for Gary? How do we play around that? How do we get this early snowball advantage going until eventually we can transition to just allow Gary to shine?
I think they go for the Estes right now. Third pick. Because it can be banned out. There you go. They hovered it. I think there's no reason not to get it. There it is.
I mean, that was the answer towards a heavy dive composition from MDH yesterday. They were up against a Fredrim, a Lolita, and a Hayabusa with a Claude 2. Hey, it's basically a lot of dive 2 here, but the thing is, it might be a bit more burst. And guess what? There's a lot of CC from that wild charge as well. So, Incendio, especially here for that roamer, Apex needs to be very, very careful.
I mean, the only thing that worries me about Estes, right, is when it's locked in, typically the whole team is going to be centered around that Estes pick, right? That's kind of where that whole Ube factor even came from. But so when you have these 3 picks already from Team Hawk and you're forced to fight around this Estes, Fanny can just cable on through as much as possible. You got to also be conscious of where that wild charge is going to come from. And still, we have 2 picks left from Team Hawk as we get through the second ban phase. And I mean, I feel like with an Estes, obviously the survivability, the sustainability is there, but still you got to be crucial about where you're placing, especially in the objectives, right? Because the thing about Grok, you think you have a good advantage in terms of objectives and spacing, but then here comes that Guardian's Barrier to kind of throw things off, and then you have Fanny flying around everywhere, right? So still something to consider here. Bans, though, for this phase, the Brody is going to be taken out as they narrow down those gold options. Also, Hilda is actually going to be banned out by Incendio Supremacy.
Yeah, it's all about the roamers for Incendio Supremacy. They understand that this Grok will be a flex pick and more than likely going to be in the X so that you can match up against that glue. While Team Hack, I really love this Brody ban because it is actually a good component on how the Turkish Delight formed yesterday. It was one of those burst heroes that can combo up with the Farsa and is easily accented by the Estes pick.
Well, on top of that already, right? Honestly, right now, Team Hawk, they're going to have to choose very, very well on what to ban in the final slot right now. My opinion, Martis. Get rid of it, right? We saw what the Martis was. Well, yeah, it is already gone early on, very early on. But right now, I guess
that's the next best.
Yeah. That's the next best, right? Just get away these bully junglers out so that the Fanny can have a better jungle phase, a better pathing in the game. And right now, I think they're doing a good job at that, getting away some of the bully heroes too in the gold lane.
Yeah, take out those utilities if you can. And I mean, even take a look at this, right? Look at Man, the Ocean Shaman. Number one highest pick of Kadita in M4, 3 picks, 67% win rate right there.
2 out of 3.
That's great for him, and that's why that last ban was targeted towards him, because we know that Team Hawk is one of those teams that really like to play around that burst potential, and so they take it out here.
Maybe Fredrin or Leomord is the choice now for Incendio Supremacy. There you go, the Fredrin. It just makes sense. You need a frontliner. It has good sustain. It can help you initiate with the glue. So it's like you're the first man in, so the glue will have a better time at finding the right targets. And it's an open pick. You don't really give out your strategy just yet because you're hiding your gold laner. So what will be the answer now for Team Hack? They need to find a lot of damage.
Lunox.
Actually, a big burst. Lunox could be a choice. Eve is already banned out, so you don't have the answer to the Farsa. So maybe a Lilia, perhaps for Team Hawk, to go with the Grok and then go for a roamer that can also help you out with AoE damage. Maybe a Lolita, for example. Oh, the Valentina, we actually forgot about it. It's also still available.
Surprised it's still open, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that we typically see here. Valentina being locked in, though, hey, it allows you a lot of options, right? There's the Lolita to complement this. Valentina, though, you can take the Feathered Airstrike. You can take the heal from Estes to have that Blessing of the Moon Goddess. You can work around that. Now this kind of evens that scale a little bit, and then this is going to keep Incendio Supremacy on their toes, right? Especially when it comes to what does the Valentina take.
Exactly. Well, now if you're looking at Incendio Supremacy, they can go the easier route with Beatrix, for example, like a standard Ube, right? But they can go make it a little bit funkier, perhaps, with a Pop and Koopa so that they will have a solid lockdown, or reliable, at least, lockdown to set up for their other lockdown so that they can push. Or maybe something like a Bruno that doesn't really care about the tankiness of their opponents. But instead, it's the easier route, the Beatrix.
It's just efficient. It's a good pick right now. Even though the win rate hasn't been too good here at M4, we've seen that teams can still make this work. Just earlier in the first series. And with this composition, like you mentioned, Wolf, it's just the Ube strat, right?
Yeah.
They're going in, they want to clump up, and they want to get that healing. Question is for me now, up against the composition that Incendio, well, again, that Team Hawk have right now, with a lot of CC, a lot of burst damage, on top of that, they also have the Valentina that can steal away that Estes ult. The sustainability is there too for Team Hawk. How are they going to fare?
That's why it's so crucial to how this game goes for them, because with that Valentina locked in here, you have a lot of dynamic to work with. And Incendio Supremacy, they've got to allow that Beatrix to get online, right? Sunshine's got to be able to get to that point in the game where he can kind of pop off. You've got to keep things in that tempo in your favor if you're Incendio Supremacy here, and we want to see that Turkish Delight pop off once again. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn here. The first game between Team Hawk and Incendio Supremacy.
Right off the bat, one thing that I notice here is Gary actually went for the Festival of Blood on the Fanny. So Gary knows that he does not want to go for that crazy burst. He knows that the enemy team won't be alone, so he didn't go for the high and dry. He opted for the Festival of Blood just to prolong those team fights.
Good thing you pointed out, because it doesn't make sense against the Turkish Delight to go for solo pickoffs. And Festival of Blood allows him to go for more cables, actually, and be aggressive in the early stages.
Wow. To see it, there you go. The dash in from Min to stun him up for Gary to pick up first blood.
just like that, right? I mean, this is what we saw previously from Ken with an early kill on the Fanny. You know, Gary is running a different emblem like you guys mentioned, so hopefully for them, for Team Hawk, they want to extend those fights, and again, if Man is taking that heal, that sustain, it really prolongs it even further. Now, Lola taking that high and dry on this Grok, if they can find those lockdowns, it's going to be troubling. Still in the mid lane, a lot of poking back and forth here between these two. It's Min and Man that has to be worked on. And a lot of this too, I mean, well, they get the flicker out, but still, all this leading up into that first turtle in about 30 seconds here.
Well, you know, you can see already a big advantage over Team Hawk just because of the fact that this mid lane being destroyed by Team Hawk. My goodness. Mid lane is the
Death lane.
Death lane.
What was that damage? What was that coordination though, right? The fact that all of them went in, put their CC in together, and Gary just used his ult. That was that, right? It was so clean by Team Hawk. 2 kills already.
But again, you know, at this point, early start, 2 minutes in, first turtle comes up. It's going to be really dicey if Incendio Supremacy wants to actually contest this. But it is TNZ here contesting it, but being zoned out by Min and Man. There you go. Man decides to take the ultimate from Apex 47. Yep. You're going to have that sustain. Uh-oh, Lola.
That's a solo kill up in the XP lane. Man coming up now. Alien's going to pop the split, gets out in time. Man trying to chase him down, but Alien actually just gets out, has a pretty good laning phase early on. Gary's going to be able to dive in just for a bit. Remember, no high and dry, no killing spree. So in terms of just that assassination, won't be as lethal. Needs people to set it up for him.
Min.
Like this! Min, just as I say it, Numenal Blast to set it up for Gary to pick up another for Team Hawk. But Apex 47 now will be able to actually come in and break his wrath, finishes Gary off, despite Man having the ult. TNZ now going to be caught low. Lola trying to look for more setup, trying to look for that CC. TNZ is going to be back to half HP with a healing from Apex 47.
Oh man, this mid lane is definitely the lane of death in this game already. Though Incendious able to equalize the cold that we have right now. Gary losing his life in the mid lane means that they will not be able to take out the turtle. In fact, Incendio Supremacy are not considering the turtle just yet. They want to clear out the mid lane and then deploy all of their members in a faster Turkish Delight activation.
Well, I mean, they're working on it, right? They're going to be setting up for something else here. They want to focus on this turtle.
Oh, my God. Well, Min is gone just like that. Gary looking for a trade here, but Rosa is actually going to be able to use the wings by wings, stunning Man up. He's very low. For the airstrike coming in, Rosa taken low. Still able to get back to Apex 47 with a healing to come through. TNZ on the turtle. Alien's only the other members away. Gary, oh my God! That retribution by TNZ. Very, very close from Gary, stealing it away. Alien bringing Lola back. TNZ rotating over towards that XP lane, but it is just both teams disengaging, and Gary is still on that purple buff. We'll be able to secure it.
See, this is the thing, right? They get that turtle. Things now going in favor here for Incendio Supremacy. And all the meanwhile, Sunshine just having a good time at the bottom with Panda there. He did pick up the BOD, right? So he's got that Weapon Master, he's got the BOD here. And I mean, anything that stands out to you, Wolf, in terms of emblems here?
Just the Festival of Blood. And the fact that the High and Dry was the choice now for Lola. We see sometimes Grok pick up the Weapon Master against the Glue, but this time it's going to be the High and Dry. I would love to see him be in action. So far, Lola has not been activated yet. Would expect him to be more aggressive, should be more aggressive, as Sunshine just becomes a...
That's why you get the skin, man.
That's why you get a skin. You get to fly, literally fly.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Oh, what happened here? Gary trying to invade Rosa. Rotating as well. TNZ gets the Retchi down, picks up the purple buff, and takes it away. Can we get the camera?
That's a new effect
there. What was that?
What level is your battle pass, Sunshine?
Hey,
I want to give that.
Level 151.
151, he's got the figurine and the special effect, the hidden one. But I mean, again, going back to this, right? Incendio Supremacy in a great position. 1.4K ahead here. First item's already coming out here, Wolf.
You can see the Cloud Destiny already available for Rosa, so he's finally able to survive like the abysmal laning stages he had. And Incendio Supremacy are already amassing all of the farm, and look at the defense. Sunshine with the damage. They still want to go for this.
They do. They really
want
do.
it.
Rosa popped the Feather Airstrike in the mid lane already though, so there's no more abilities to lock him down. Panda is going to be forced back away, but you can really see why the S-Test came through. Min now looking for something. Feather Airstrike comes in. TNC getting a whole lot of damage. What? Min gets bursted down again, deleted. And Incendio Supremacy now built up a 2.4k gold lead. Wow.
And slowly and surely they are able to get the turret down bottom lane, and then the turtle uncontested by Team Hack. The aggression coming out from TNZ. He knows that there will be sustain from himself and his teammates. And now Alien with Dominance Eyes. He's going to be surviving for now. Baits out that dash.
What a good play there. Distracting the enemy team. For the airstrike, going to come down again onto the mid lane. It's going to be taken low again. Taking the whole lot of the Bandit's Rage.
I'm sure, you know, if you were here the other day, chat's loving the AoE damage available from Incendio Supremacy, because that's what's going on here. You see how much front-loaded damage is not only from Rosa, but even Sunshine now. When they decide to go that route, they're putting on the pressure here.
This is the classic Ube formation, by the way, from M3. You get 4 members group up, including the jungler, and the X lane will just take the long lane, or the opposite lane. And they just sustain themselves.
He just
My God!
Stands there menacingly. Sunshine's gonna fall. That's a shutdown. Picked up Gary with the cable, styling on Incendio's Apex gonna fall as well. TNZ finally joining in with his team up in the top side of the map. Alien has rotated, but 3 members have fallen. Incendio bit off more than they could chew.
Good dissection coming out from Team Hawk as they forced Incendio Supremacy to commit a lot with that first kill onto Lola. When the Moonlight Immersion is down, you can see that Apex 47 doesn't have as much sustain as you can see. And also, Sunshine didn't utilize the flicker, which was interesting. I don't know if it was on cooldown back then, but all of those other, you know, minor mistakes coming up from Incendio Supremacy and minor over-aggression allow Team Hawk to get so much of an advantage.
I mean, even just looking at this, right, the pick rate, this is for carry. 51% with a win rate of 62%, 17 out of 26 games. You can see why it's so highly contested now. There are some struggles where you see, you know, Panda trying to get in range, and just even how tanky TNZ is right now. And they have to respect this feathered airstrike from Rosa. Even though Rosa had a rough start, Rosa's done an amazing job at just still being very valuable on this Farsa pick. And now that this first Lord of the game is up, I mean, Incendio Supremacy in a great position to just kind of take this one. It's really going to be up to Min here to find another crazy setup with that Neon Blast, or even Lola. They could fight around that, but still, you can see every member of Incendio Supremacy pretty much trying to get in position here. They would love to secure this first Lord of the game.
Despite losing 3 members in that top side of the map, again, they're only down to 1.5k gold lead, which is still a very, very good position to be in if you're Incendio. Meanwhile, they're already chunking the Lord, now down to about half HP. Sunshine with a Bennett. Alien trying to just be that frontliner. For the airstrike coming in, and blast as well. Rosa's going to be able to actually stand there. For the airstrike responded back into Wings by Wings. Rosa going to be caught. Gary with the cables finds 1 kill. Rosa is down. Sunshine still able to hit the other Team Hawk members away. That's a turret picked up by Team Hawk by the mini waves. And Incendio Supremacy are playing the long game, but it feels like Team Hawk right now have the advantage. TNZ catches man off, but that's a defensive flicker away.
I think for Incendio Supremacy, you have to consider taking care of Rosa. You don't have to take care only of Sunshine, because Rosa is a big damage dealer. It's very important and very crucial to the Ube strategy that Incendio Supremacy is doing right now. Every time that the Farsa is getting picked up, that's a massive amount of damage that's lost from Incendio Supremacy.
I mean, here, the focus on the top side, looking to get this tier 1 down. You know, core items being picked up here, especially for Panda, allow him to kind of skirmish a little bit better, but you can see how hard it is for Man to even get that Rose. He wants the feathered airstrike, he really does, or even Apex 47s, but he's having a hard time getting it, and sometimes he puts himself in a position where he can't. He does have Apex 47 now, But I mean, at this point, still, you want to be able to get in a good position for this possible Lord take. The downside is, for Team Hawk, you don't have that tier 1 down yet in the mid lane, and that's why you see Incendio Supremacy controlling so much of this, because they're holding on to that, and that does make a difference here. Now, that's exactly why Gary's kind of just going around the map, putting pressure if he can.
I really love what Gary's doing right now. It's very smart. Divide and conquer is the idea for Team Hawk. They know that if there's someone who's dealing with the bottom lane or the opposite lane, will have to spend a lot of time before they're able to regroup and take the fight afterwards. This is the reason why they now diminish the golding to 100.
Gary stole the purple buff away. He gets a kill too. He gets out on top of that with a healing from Man, stealing away the blessing of the Moon Goddess from Apex 47. Team Hawk, not only have they equalized, but they've got the lead back.
Gary, what a guy.
What a guy.
What a guy. His rotations were on point, and the usage of his ultimate, and he knows that his team is going to be backing him up. Instead of going towards the river, he went to the mid lane because majority of his teammates are there after his kill onto Rosa. And the fact that he stole that purple buff, because Incendio's idea is give the purple buff to Rosa now, so that is why TNZ is not committed to the retribution now. Incendio have conceded the control of the Lord area.
Well, it does seem like it is going to be a free Lord. The crowd goes wild as Team Hawk secure the first Lord of the game.
So good pickup here, and all this resulting in just those macro decisions as a team, and even down to the micro decisions, the way that they kind of just moved around the map. They got some of those ultimates out from Incendio Supremacy, which gave them the advantage here. They're still holding on to that tier 1, but I mean, for how long now that Lord is marching bottom?
Oh, Man's gonna fall to the feather airstrike there. Min, in the midst of it all. Alien, oh my god, that burst from Panda. It's not even DPS at this point, you can call it burst because of how fast he's attacking. TNZ in the midst of it all, once again, jumping in. That's Alien, looking for the slam, pass. Lola's gonna fall. Alien, still, the front liner. Gary! From out of nowhere, comes back in with the cables, finding a trade. 2 for 1 in favor of Incendio, but the Lord still pushing him towards the base of Incendio, giving more pressure for Team Hawk to pick up more objectives.
Well, Gary's just making a case. He wants to contest the title for the best jungler, the King of the Skies, against both Kyrie and Albert and Carl Tesius. Really making all of these great assassinations and saving Team Hawk time and time again. That would have been a very good clash for Incendio Supremacy as they're getting all those kills and they're pressuring Team Hawk already, but the map as well as the control of the gold laners and the position force the mid laners. Gary's just making it difficult for Incendio Supremacy to cook their Turkish delight.
Well, I mean, again, you know, the fact that Incendio Supremacy is still in this game. Yes, they finally lost their tier 1 turret in the mid lane. They were holding on to it for dear life. They still have great tools here to win these team fights, and that's kind of what we've seen in the past couple minutes here. Whether it's TNZ finding a setup here, Apex is sustained, even Alien, if he can get to where he needs to be, they've got great things to consider here, and that's what we see from Team Hawk. Now, biggest thing for them, Panda, you got to let Panda just unleash, right?
Yep.
Gary has been putting pressure on the side part of the map, the top and bottom lane, and then he kind of just swoops in, and that's what you're expecting from this Fanny. But still, Panda, if he can get taken out from Incendio Supremacy, they lose a ton of burst potential. And Sunshine's already at this point on this Beatrix where he's got the damage, right? If he can be protected, again, sustainability here in TNZ, then you're going to be in a good position to fight and win those against Team Hawk.
Yeah. You need the window nature for both marksmen here. I think that is also the next spot for Sunshine. They're going to be waiting for it. You have to understand that Incendio Supremacy will wait for their items before they fight once again. And that will be just in time for the next Lord fight.
I mean, if you look at Rosa, also Winter Truncheon built up, right? So you can already see the respect being given, but
there it is.
My question is it too late? Because the thing is, Sunshine has been caught 2 times. Rosa's been caught 5 times before we see those defensive items come through.
Well, I mean, we just saw Sunshine pick up that Wind of Nature, and perfect timing, right? The next Lord's going to be up here, and you can see, right, Team Hawk has obviously that advantage, but again, I'm going to say, Incendio Supremacy, they should contest this. They have the right tools that they need. They just need to not be outplayed macro, right? Macro style, because you can see it, right? They have to park Alien here in the bottom side, handling those waves, not letting it be pushed in. And that is what Gary is even doing so well here for Team Hawk as they prepare for the best moment for this next Lord.
What they need to do now is to find the opening. Bottom lane, that will be pushed by the Fanny for sure. So who is going to defend that? Is it going to be Rosa or is it going to be Alien? Both are needed in a team fight. Or do they just fight literally right now and force Team Hawk to not be able to do what they're planning to do? And wow, okay.
Yep.
So
a little too far.
Weird.
Gonna go ahead and reset it for now. Lola, though, and still parking Gary in the bottom side, like you were mentioning, right? Putting the pressure there. It's gonna force Alien away. Now, that is a big loss here for Incendio Supremacy if they don't have Alien with them. But someone's got to deal with these waves. Lord, these walls just doing things here for Team Hawk right now. Incendio Supremacy, though, they're gonna have to deal with this. It is a nice little lead. They don't have Alien here. Half health for the Lord.
It's a good forced error by Team Hawk. Alien in the bottom lane. Min gonna be caught here by Rose's Feather Airstrike, but he's gonna be able to go for the stun. Winter Truncheon to dodge away, but look at them in front line. TX is gonna be caught here. The healing comes in, but it's not enough to deal with the damage from Gary, from Panda, from Man, who picks up a double kill. Alien now in the midst of it all, going for the chase. A Hail Mary, all alone. 1v5, has the split to buy a little bit more time to get out. Jumps onto Man, but Man, he has the mortality. The team doesn't care, ignoring Alien 100% of the way. They're gonna go straight for the base. 8 seconds on Apex 47, and Team Hawk and strike first with first game.
Man, 17 minutes, I think that was. They just decided, you know what, we don't need the Lord to win the fight, take 4 down, you know, Alien, he's gonna do glue things, let him be, push into the base, and take that first game of the series.
All throughout the early stages of the game, you know that Incendio Supremacy has already gotten it. They are controlling the economy. They're winning the team fights. But it was a big blunder in the middle part where they got beaten by the side of Team Hack. And why was that? What happened? What did Team Hack do? Well, they won by macro.
Yeah.
Gary was the precursor. He controlled the map. He made Incendio Supremacy react so much, and then he went for great assassinations. Great macro display, but even better micro play coming out from Gary. Definitely winning that game for them.
And at this point, Gary gave him the MVP, right? He split push. He did everything perfectly in that game, even to the emblem. He took that Festival of Blood, really doing him wonders.
Man. Wow. He's Employee of the Month.
Employee of the Month for Team Hawk.
He wanted to be that guy, and that's what he was after, right?
Gary the Carry.
Gary the Carry. Speaking of that, we do want to give a special shout out, of course, to Secret Lab, the official gaming chair partner of M4. We're talking about built-in lumbar support system that you can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam pillow, which I think we don't have right now, but still, the brand new fabrics is all sorts of colors and designs. The Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair is designed to keep everyone seated in incredible comfort for a long, long time. We surely love them, and there's also more here, Mirko. There's an M4 pass.
Absolutely. If you guys want to get that flying Beatrix effect, right, or just the skins in general, you guys can level up your M4 pass right now because it's available, and you guys can just complete all active tasks to reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now to get exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser skin, the Beatrix Stellar Brilliant skin, and the M4 Beatrix figurine that's awaiting you in the game. And perhaps if you unlock it in real life, hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to be Great.
And there's more. The M4 Battle Night is going live on January 21st. Expects loads of events and rewards for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle task in-game on January 21 to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest. Aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. There's more. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. So save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate M4 championship together, including with our friends,
Families.
and families, and Gary and everybody else. You know, so
Gary is a secret twin. He's Min Man and Gary.
I concur. And now we're going to throw it over to our analysts to break down this game further. Again, an amazing macro-style game that we just witnessed. Guys, what do you have to say?
Thanks, Naisu. That was a masterclass in macro. It shows the beauty of high-level Mobile Legends. If you're wondering about where your magnetic pillow is, well, I stole them and it's back in my hotel, and that's why I'm the big dog here at the analyst. And my name is Getting Q. This is going to be Jace as well as Assassin Dave. Break it down for us, boys, because Team Hawk already at match point. Incendio Gaming, I mean, you mentioned it, Dave. They're like, man, this draft, Ube all the way through. Blacklist International vibes just seeping through.
Absolutely, and Team Hawk's prepared for it. It picked up the Fanny, and that just ripped through the entire Incendio comp like a hurricane. I mean, they have no solution for it, right? You saw that Gary was able to invade the jungle, right? Get the blue buff, and kill Rosa and gets away with it. And he's the only person who puts Rosa with 5 deaths. And let's take a look at the item build.
Man, looking at the item builds right here, I really have to commend Gary, right? He identified that, okay, I may have picked the Fanny into a wrong situation if you would go for high and dry, instantly switch into the Bloodlust emblem as well, going in, you know, pure sustain. I think that he actually swapped one of the items. The Windhawk was actually a later switch. I think he had the Anticuras as well, going in very pure defense. Another first item that he took was the Blade Hephaestus, emphasizing on that, and that's how Gary, you know, got the pick off on Rosa multiple times and delayed the push of Incendio Supremacy.
Actually, to add on to that, the fact that he has that 13k, previously we did see him with a C Halberd in the earlier stages immediately after he got his Hunter Strike. And again, that early game looked great until Incendio Gaming turned it around.
Absolutely. Alien was the key to victory for Incendio Gaming there in the mid-game, right? You saw Alien one-on-one the Grok on the side lane, and this guy actually just give Incendio a chance. But through the mid to late game, the supreme macro from Team Hawk was just insane. You saw the 5-man team fight on the top side when they were about 1,000 gold behind. And let's take a look at kill participation. Mean 92%. What can we say about a mean man combo? I mean, in the mid lane, the early game, easy 2 kills with a stun, and Gary waited for Mean to go into the tower and then fly in. Those were flawless.
I don't think it's the Petronas Twin Tower issue right now. I think Gary is that forgotten triplet, all right? A forgotten triplet. You saw how he was able to synchronize so well with Min and Man in the mid lane. That definitely immediately throw Incendio Supremacy into a losing mid lane. You lost the wing by wings, you lost the Farsa advantage, and then all of a sudden you lost your turtle, you lost every single thing. And not only just that, I also have to really highlight the fact that Gary, macro play, micro play, everything. This dude is amazing.
He's the all-in-one package, you know. These are the product, you know, the hair products people warn you about. The all-in-one shampoo, conditioner. You gotta be worried about that. And honestly, if we're really thinking about the overall game, you have to admit the wave manipulations from both of these teams, immaculate, so delicious, so very good. But at match point here, hopefully Incendio has something else.
Yeah, I mean, they really have to figure out how to either ban the Fanny or figure out how to answer the late game split push, right? The Fanny was able to accumulate a bottom wave and then put a pressure onto the lore fight. That was absolutely insane. So with that being said, guys, let's take a look at MVP of that match.
Yes,
It's not Gary.
I mean, it's got to be, right?
It has to be Gary.
It has to be. Come on, no surprises here. Gary as the MVP of this game on his Fanny. Superb gameplay and honestly great itemization.
Down to the macro, I believe. Like, you saw how Gary was constantly playing off the map, knowing the fact that he is a Fanny, he could jump from one lane to another, and because Incendio Supremacy went for the Ube strat, they need 5 together. And you saw at the very last team fight, right, what Gary did. I shot bottom lane and then joined the team fight. Blue, on the other hand, has to join go all the way down to the bottom lane, clear it off, and by the time when the Glue went back to the team fight, it's a little bit too late. The Ube strat is gone.
Yeah, they forced Incendio into a really awkward position where they actually took the fight here. With the MVP, let's take a look at a heat map of Fanny. You can see that this guy was actually, I mean, it's all over the place, right? In his own jungle, mostly the blue buff, and then go to the red. But he's getting so many kills in the mid lane.
He is. And I think, a lot of his focus was to make sure that Estes was as weak as possible. And then when he realized, oh, he's got a little too many items, then after the 5-minute mark, he starts putting pressure into the side lane. So very dynamic gameplay coming out from Fanny. And most Fannys are pretty one-dimensional, even though the hero can be so creative and expressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fanny, different from Lean, this character doesn't have the cooldown on the dash, right? On the skill 1
That's
mobility.
right.
So when he split push, even though you saw the Fanny on the bottom lane, you still can't really do too much, right? Like the Fanny can just fly back in within a matter of seconds.
Just traveling from one lane to another. There's basically, it's like playing that thing, the whack-a-mole thingy. That's basically Gary. The more that refuses to appear in one lane, you see him top lane, you see him bottom lane, you see him mid lane, oh, Rosa is dead, and then you see him top lane again. Basically, Incendio has their hands extremely full.
Well, that's what we call impact here. However, Team Hawk at match point, Incendio Supremacy playing for tournament lives here. Let's see, is this a conclusion or just a continuation? Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, and we completely agree with the fact that Gary is part of that. He's the triplet. He's the
forgotten triplet.
The forgotten triplet.
Yeah.
But also, before we get further on with the next match, we do want to mention our official partner for merchandise. That's Gank. We actually just visited their booth right between these matches.
Free stickers.
We got free stickers. We'll have to check out the merch later. But a lifestyle fashion brand made for the modern gamer and is the M4 World Championship official merchandise partner. Grab the M4 merchandise at www.gank.asia today. And if you're here, if you actually get to watch through the tournament, don't forget to visit their booth outside. There's also the M4 Pass, which is available now. Complete all active tasks and you'll reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now. Exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and the M4 Beatrix figurine are awaiting for you. Don't forget the hashtags, hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. And now, boys, we have game number 2. You just
Sorry, I was looking at that
you just
figurine,
love it.
man. I can't wait to bring it home, right?
That fly effect, though.
Yeah, dude. What level? I think you need to reach 151.
151.
Yeah.
It's too easy for Mirko, though.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to say it's too easy for me.
No, not me. I don't have as much resources as this guy. Here.
But the Beatrix figurine is closer to you, so that's something right there.
Well, it's still up for grabs for all of us at the desk here through the tournament. But jokes aside, game number 2, guys. Wolf, I'm going to ask you first, because you're the mastermind over there. What does Incendio Supremacy have to do? I mean, are you the one that coined Turkish Delight yesterday?
Well, you kind of used it in the Tagalog broadcast in the first day of group stages because we were very surprised about it. They went in for the ESDA, so to answer your question, what do they need to do? I think that the trades were favorable for them. There was a time where they could have just fought before Gary was able to do the split push so that they can force the issues. What I saw from that previous game was that they weren't the ones in control of the game. They weren't the ones pressing the issue. Even when they have the team fight advantage, it's as if they are waiting for something to happen from Team Hack. They're waiting for Gary to make the move before they make the move themselves. It has to be the opposite way. They have to be the ones to press the issue instead.
It feels like, if you want to put Incendio Supremacy style and you want to say, hey, it's the Turkish Delight, it's more like it's a snack. And then from Malaysia, from Team Hawk, it's just like, here, have some nasi lemak, full meal. Just eat that, bro.
I want nasi lemak.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
It's quite spicy.
Gary special lemak.
Gary
special.
Yeah.
Well, the Gary nasi lemak. That's going to be a new thing.
That's a new thing. That's a thing now.
I mean, just saying, we're not hungry here on the desk, right? But going back, hero pick recap too. I mean, even if you look at this, the biggest thing that sticks out to me, like you mentioned, Wolf, is Incendio Supremacy was responding the whole time, right?
Exactly.
And you can actually just change that by just ban out the Fanny, right? Because Fanny
true.
is so mobile, right? That's one of the reasons why she's such a high skill cap hero, but also at the same time high impact. I think it was Gideon that used that. The impact there, especially with that Fanny pick, you don't want to always be scrambling to catch up to her, right? So just ban it out of the in the draft. Don't have to worry about it and kind of go with that approach. Because honestly, even if you wanted to go still with that Estes pick, you could actually, the team composition wasn't bad. It was just, you were constantly responding to Team Hawk.
Yeah. And looking at it again, Incendio, I think they were just too ambitious in the drafting phase, right? They went for the Yuzong ban, for very unconventional bans here. We understand why. They wanted to pick the Farsa early, but they could have just picked up another hero early by banning out the prior heroes first. They need to understand that their composition is very susceptible to these kinds of crazy engages, especially considering, hey, they still double down on that Turkish Delight strategy, even up against the Grok.
Might be the Farsa, which was too early of a pickup. There could be a lot of answers to that, but it is what it is. It's also one of their comfort picks. It's probably why they prioritize it. But I do agree with you guys. Fanny should be a consideration now for Incendio Supremacy. It was way too good. I like the fact that they gave out the carry in exchange for the glue, though. But in exchange for glue and Farsa, might not be the best of trade. So we'll find out how they approach it. We don't know yet which side they will go on. I would assume that Incendio Supremacy would still prefer the second pick, as the way that they're just drafting is just they're more comfortable getting those 2 picks and that last pick.
Well, I honestly feel like, you know, either team is, for the most part, even given the statistic we saw for carry, you can just give it away as long as you have an answer for it, right? And you have those 2 picks to kind of start that game plan for you. But now we're going to load up here into the draft. Game number 2, match point for Team Hawk here. Incendio Supremacy going to want to start strong in the draft. They're going to be on that blue side, so they will have that first pick. Great first ban, like we said. Just take it out so Gary can't get it, and you don't have to be responding to him the whole time.
That's right. I wouldn't be surprised if the carry is going to be banned out by Incendio Supremacy, as they don't pick it up, or maybe they just prioritize the glue, right? But then again, Eve will not be going through. Team Hawk can't consider banning out the glue this time. As compared to the previous game, it was very difficult to deal with, though they have shown that they can actually defeat the glue with the Grok.
Yeah, for Team Hawk, right? They honestly, right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Just leave the carry open. You have a lot of other picks. You have an assassin player as good as Gary that can dive towards that carry if Incendio actually pick it up. We've seen that Sunshine here on the carry so far in this tournament. I don't think he's played a lot of carry games, actually, because it's just been banned out. So that can also be a big question, right? Is he comfortable on the carry? The glue is still going to be banned out by Team Hawk. You can already see some respect given over after the Fanny ban, right? You need to understand that, hey, give respect.
Yeah, just give respect. Even when you get away from it, you win against it once, don't stretch your luck.
Don't stretch your luck.
Just try to ban it out. And that is Team Hack's going to be banning it out. I wonder if the Joy is going to be the choice for Incendio Supremacy. So far, that is a hero that we rarely see because it's almost always banned.
I mean, still the question is does Joy really deserve that ban? I feel like some people are still debating it because usually you see Joy in the jungle. I feel like that's where the more success is. Again, this is reminiscent of back then when Julian was always banned back in MSC, right? So Joy's kind of in that position. But this is the Ling ban coming out too, so it's 2 assassins. Still though, we could possibly see Gary still even pick up that Hayabusa, right? Which has popped up a lot throughout this M4 tournament, and still a great choice.
Instead, you don't want to play the Waka Gary game again, just like in previous games, so they just ban it out. Now, it opens up both Kaja and Valentina, but at the same time, Joy does it deserve the ban? I think against Incendio Supremacy, knowing that they have not picked that up yet, you can kind of gamble it. However, it's always like, all teams need to know how to play Joy. I don't see that for Incendio Supremacy knowing how they play. There it is. They will give out a Joy.
Because it's almost like one of those things. So, I mean, even the group stages, the discussion was, man, are some teams just picking these heroes because because they're strong, and then you see them and they don't, it doesn't really work out for them.
But carry.
Incendio Supremacy going to go ahead and pick up the carry, so this is the first start for them.
We saw in the first series of the day, once you pick up a carry and the Kaja is open, the Kaja gets picked up instantly, and the Kaja does so well against the carry. Because the range that carry has is pretty short, right? You can really punish the carry. And right now, Team Hawk, I think they're going to...
Joy carry.
Joy
Kaja,
That picks up a counter for Joy too, right? You pick it up away from Incendio.
Exactly. I think it's not rocket science to pick those up. And I'm pretty sure the Team Hawk has...
Your rocket science.
Yeah, your...
Science.
Your Joy.
Hey, thank you.
Hey.
You threw him off. Well, that is the point. There it is, though. It's not Kaja.
It's not Kaja.
It's Grok.
So it isn't rocket science.
Yeah,
it's more.
It is. Okay, so what I like about the Grok is that you deny it away from the carry. The combo of the carry and the Grok has been proven to be the bane of Team Hack when they went up against Echoes. You don't want to give that up. Also, it's a big open pick. You don't reveal yet whether or not it will be a roamer or will it be an X-Lane. kind of opens up the Benedetta and the Estes. All right, okay.
Okay.
So, the Turkish Delight still.
Well, I mean, they're still going with it, right? And this, again, if you're going to have the Estes, you always have to be mindful of that, right? I mean, we've talked about this so many times when Estes pops up, the sustainability and everything. But this time, with a Benedetta, I like it because, I mean, we've seen some great setups with the Electrifying Blow, Petrify combinations, but then sometimes, you know, when those amazing moments happen, you don't have that damage to follow up. Now, having the carry there and kind of locking people down and then having that safety net of the heal as well could be beneficial, but still, I think the biggest question mark is the Kaja possibly locked in here, right? Because, okay, that's the Claude. So Claude's coming up. This is a very different trend of the draft that we're not used to seeing, I feel like.
The Claude is one of the theory-crafted answer to the ultimate bonding strategy because they grow together. You have our Thievery as well as the Blazing Duet. Then again, the presence of the Benedetta kind of makes it difficult because you have ways to kind of bring back the damage, and also you have access to the backlines.
Not just the Benedetta, but also the carry, right? Claude really struggles up against the carry in this lane matchup. So picking up that Claude is a bit risky.
Yeah.
But I get what they're trying to do, right? They're up against the Ube. They're up against this kind of strategy where they want to group up. That's some AoE damage. And on top of that, you also have that Battle Mirror image that just is such a good escape tool. And Incendiary Supremacy, from the games we saw, or from last game, literally, they really struggle to pinpoint on a target when you're up against so much mobility, and that's exactly what Hawk are doubling down on. Joy, Grok,
Mobility.
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 Not only that, but too, I mean, the fact that technically you don't know where the Grok is going just yet. You don't know where the Joy's going. Because,
Jungle Grok.
well, that's
Why not?
stretching it a little bit, but it could work. I mean, but still, roam Grok, side lane Grok, Joy could go in the jungle, could go in the side lane. We've seen that happen too.
Very flexible.
Heck, we've seen her in the mid lane too, right? So still, that's something there to consider. Obviously, Claude going to the gold lane. So still, the targeted bans here are towards the jungle for Incendio Supremacy. They take out that Martis. They don't want to deal with that utility. I mean, just the tankiness. They might even take one more jungler out if for Team Hawk here. Because the response from Incendio Supremacy, they know that stat from Man with his Kadita. They take it out, and there you go. That's actually a great choice here, the Valentina, because you don't have to worry about them taking your ultimates as well.
Wild Charge.
What's Rosa going to play now, right?
What is Rosa going to play? Yeah, still have the Savior, perhaps.
Oh, man. Up against that dive?
Yeah, but the dive is just way too good. Maybe a Lilia, perhaps, if they are allowed to. But, you know, Team Hack can just snatch that away if they... that actually fits their composition, too. So, they are... Supremacy in a very bad spot. Eudora going to be banned out. One of the heroes that Team Hack actually played, too.
Interesting.
One of the pocket strategies or pocket picks for Man in the mid lane. Now it's time for Team Hawk to go for pick, and I honestly think at this point they need a mid laner, right? Do they want to go for something like the Lunox and take it away? No, they go for something like a Faramis. So you mentioned Lilia. I personally like the Lunox here for Incendio Supremacy. Up against so much mobility, you need someone to be able to burst them down before they even notice, right? And Lunox has that kind of capability. Lilia, on the other hand, very hard to hit those skill shots with a lot of mobility being placed, a lot of blinks as well, like the Claude. Let's see what they go for here. That's the Lunox pick coming through.
Well,
what do they pair it up with? You're looking for a jungler. Fredrin still is good.
Yeah, they need that.
They need that. They need a front liner. Well, Barrett is also available, so that's also one consideration.
Barrett's Fredrin.
That's right. I have a crazy idea. What if they pick up a Leomord, or actually a Balmond?
A Balmond?
Yeah, but that's very unlikely. Leomord is a choice.
No, we haven't seen Balmond.
Okay.
Yeah, the Barretts.
Solid front line, right? They go for the efficient pick again. Not much risk with this pick. Very good clear.
Yeah.
Well, an overall good pick.
Again, it's still something, you know, utility jungle. You can focus on the objectives. That's what you need to do. Almost probably like the second best choice if Marches is banned out, right? So I guess if you look at Incendio Supremacy specifically, they've got their bases covered. I really do want to see how the Benedetta is utilized as well, if they can kind of just put pressure around the map this time. Maybe it's Incendio Supremacy that's being like, hey, Team Hawk, respond to us this time, right? But even just looking at this, I really am interested. Okay, it's a Diggy.
It's Diggy mid. Wait, Diggy roam, Faramis mid. and that's the Grok in the jungle.
Yep.
No,
All right.
it's Gary.
No, it's Gary. Oh,
It's Gary, man. I know you were
man, I was
excited to
getting
see
hyped.
it.
Come on.
come on,
But
Gary.
Do you want to see Gary in a single dash hero, an ultimate for a dash? You don't want to see that. You want to see Waka Gary.
Yeah, that's a Gary. Joy.
That's a Gary.
That's a
Joy.
Joy is a Gary pick.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Again, this is a very still weird, unorthodox draft, right? But
both.
it's Team Hawk. What can we? This is kind of something you. What's the saying with Malaysian teams? There's a certain saying.
You're never sure.
You're never sure. Yeah, I was thinking. No. I was thinking of the Tagalog version, but yeah, you're never sure, right? With these Malaysian teams here, but again, crucial match here. Their match point for Team Hawk. Incendio Supremacy. Even looking at the lineup, they've got great tools again, like they did in the previous game. But can they make it work here? Ladies and gentlemen, we're loading up into the land of Dawn. Match point for Team Hawk. Incendio Supremacy looking to extend the series. Who comes out on top?
It's gonna be very difficult to find out. You're looking at Incendio Supremacy. It looks like a very difficult lineup to pull up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking about like ease of execution here. It's like so many conditions for Incendio Supremacy. If their composition is good, it's really looking good. But when it comes to the raw damage or execution for Incendio Supremacy, it's definitely more difficult compared to Team Hawk.
I agree, right? Incendio Supremacy, looking at their composition, there's a lot that needs to go right, and especially that gold lane, because they're going to really bank on the fact that Sunshine and Rosa can melt down the frontliners from Team Hawk, and the bursters, the divers, technically, Gary, Panda. The way Incendio are playing right now is they're peeling with damage.
Yep.
I thought you were going to mention the Ghost Bursters, But I feel like Faramis, in a way, isn't as strong as we're. Okay,
Missed it.
not going to be able to get that, but still, I mean, very reminiscent of the previous game, right? A lot of early action here. The best thing, though, is if no one is able to get that first blood before that first turtle comes out, Wolf, who's got the advantage for that first objective?
I think Incendio Supremacy, just because of the fact that they have the Barretts, is very strong in the first few minutes of the game. And when it comes to like turtle fights, you can hold your ground utilizing your Daytona's Welcome. You can still pick up the Retribution when the fighting gets dicey, so you are actually immune to stuns or crowd control during that period. So I guess to answer your question, Incendio Supremacy should take advantage of that fact.
Well, let's see, right? Because early on, you can already see the matchup here. Sunshine is doing it a little bit better than Panda in the gold lane as expected. Because of this, Incendio do have a bit more pressure to play on towards the turtle, with Alien rotating to the mid lane and actually lane swapping with Rosa. Rosa wants to get that level 4 quickly. The turtles reset it, and they're both just going to disengage.
Yeah, everybody's got to be pretty much careful here at this point, but across the board, all green lights for everybody. So it really comes down to how they utilize this, especially even with the Time's Journey on Min here. But the poking coming out.
Alien with a petrify in the final blow. That's a time journey, but Min's going to be taken out. First blood over to Incendio Supremacy.
Oh, great decision there coming out from Alien. Also able to secure that first kill for himself. Should also be that turtle.
Whoa! Gary coming in, picking up the retry. That's a missed time by Lola, as Gary now is going to be forced to back off. Tienzi picks up the kill. Man, forced to flicker out, and Tienzi will just trade that away with a purple buff steal on Team Hawk's jungle.
Fortunately for Incendio Supremacy, they found the post-turtle fight and won it, because the setup was already there for Incendio Supremacy. They have 4 ultimates available in that fight. Alien already poked T-Mac and got a kill afterwards. They have all the advantage in the world. Even Gary's a level under the opposing Barretts, the jungler of Incendio Supremacy. So everything should be theirs that moment. Fortunately for Team Hack, they got the turtle, but they lost the post-turtle fight.
Yeah, I mean, already off to a great start here for Incendio Supremacy. Again, playing around with this lead that they have. And really, I mean, a lot of it too, Sunshine just being able to farm up as well as he can. Now, he had the Corrosion Scythe. He's going to be working on the next item. Yeah. You got to protect Sunshine, allow him to scale up, because right now, a lot of that early damage with Rosa having an early kill here, running that last worship, you know it's going to hurt, right? And Tienzi, like we mentioned in the draft, having this Barrett's pick and just kind of being able to secure an objective with the Daytona's Welcome, being immune to CC, is really going to benefit you here, because with this early lead, you got to continue to compound interest it, build upon it, and transition to mid-game.
And the thing is, Incendio, they have the lead whilst also having two very late game heroes that needs to scale, right? Remember, Rosa and Sunshine, they're waiting for items, man.
Yeah, they're going to be waiting for their major core items. I don't know if Rosa is interested in going for the Lightning Truncheon, but since they are utilizing this Lunox in an Ube setting, you want more of those AoE damage. And of course, Sunshine going to be waiting for the Wind of Nature before they fight, so that Panda as well as Lola will be nullified by Incendio's Supremacy.
Man, I just feel like there's also just a lot of magic damage from Team Hawk. You can already see action more for this turtle.
Shadow Stampede bringing TNT back. Alien in the midst right now. That's going to be the healing coming from Blessing of the Moon Goddess. As TNT finds the as well. Defensive fire as well. It's combo together. Min finally pops a time journey, but it might be a bit too late. He's 1 HP. Panda's very, very low. Alien's looking for the dive. Flickers out. Gary now caught. That's a Phantom Splash. Gary gonna be falling down to the hands of Rosa. Meanwhile, Sunshine, that was a 4v5 and Incendio won.
I mean, 4v5, and you just saw, that's how much the sustain from the Estes pick works so well, because you saw everybody was quite low, but no follow-up, no kill was converted for Team Hawk.
Rosa, the Ruby Diddy play, the Lunox bomb just zones out the members of Team Hawk, and eventually Incendio Supremacy are going to be able to take over the map. The aggression is going to be there. It's time for the ultimate bonding experience. Hell, the Turkish delight. You can now taste it. It's how being served to Team Hawk.
3.7k gold lead. And we have to talk about the Joy pick now because we mentioned it in the draft. Our team's picking Joy just because Joy's a good pick, because it seems like right now the Joy isn't really working out for Team Hawk.
The Radiant Armor pickup coming out from the Barretts, which is TNZ. More of a sacrificial role now, going for just tank ability. Allow them to nullify the effect of the Joy.
Well, I mean, at least they get a turret here on the top side, right? But Lola having a bad day.
Lola is just not, having a good day. 0-2-0 here in this game. Incendio keep on punishing him, but he's under the turret. It's not like he has any counterplay to that right now.
Well, Rosa.
But deadly, man. I do agree with this. Number 2 in hero damage, as you see, very aggressive plays coming out from Rosa, committing the Lunox bomb against under the turret, and he will not stop. Oh, Sunshine.
It's a solo kill, practically. He goes in for the BMI, but will actually just fall to Sunshine. Sunshine still going to be able to pick up the double under the turret while Rosa is tanking and Apex is dealing out the heals.
Oh, it's very aggressive, combining the two ultimates of the Lunox, and of course the fact that Apex 47 can just heal him up. They're so aggressive right now because they don't get the Phantom Step to clear it out, and this is total dominance from Incendio Supremacy.
He's an assassin, he's not a marksman.
It's always sunny in the land of dawn when Sunshine's playing, man, because what a game he's having on this carry already. It's not even at the 8-minute mark here. Next turtle comes up in, what, almost a 6k gold lead. Massive here for Sunshine. And, I mean, it's Incendio Supremacy coming out just swinging, basically, at this point.
They know their timings. They know that what they needed to wait for. And now they have total dominance. They will not be defending bottom lane, unfortunately, as Alien is far too late for that. Oh, I say that, though. Joy is not a great pushing hero, unfortunately.
Definitely not right. I mean, in terms of damage and team fights too, he hasn't really been able to dish out that much. Panda clearing out the mid lane, getting some pressure back onto the team, but Incendio, with their Benedetta that's ahead 2 levels, they're going to control the side lanes 100%. Uh-oh, Alien with Eye for an Eye, getting out, Gary jumping in, that's the final blow, back to work Team Hawk. Stampede brings him back, but it's all for Lord Alien, oh my god! Almost finds a trade.
I mean, that's just how far ahead Incendio Supremacy is. But meanwhile, Alien going, what, 1 versus 4? Lord just taken by Incendio Supremacy, and now their eyes are up here on the top side of the map.
The maneuver coming out from Incendio Supremacy, classic to the strategy that they wanted to utilize. The XP lane will play the opposite lane from the Lord, or the long lane, and then they just take the Lord afterwards. They bought a lot of time. They even took the tier 2 turret up top, and now they're controlling mid. So with the Lord, I think that they will be able to clear out all of the outer turrets of Team Hack.
I think you've just planted Gary there. He's going to deal with the Lord the best he can, but Team Hack going to have to sacrifice probably some more turrets here, trying to buy as much time as possible with that Guardian's Barrier, but ultimately going to lose more space across the map. So the question is, even at this point, as the game transitions even further, what does Team Hawk need to do here to stay in this game, to get back from this massive lead from Incendio Supremacy, Wolf?
Wow, I guess it's the Gary macro that will be the answer.
On a joy, though.
On a
joy. Unfortunately, I mean, surely you have a lot of dashes, right, that you can escape, but now look at the pincer maneuver coming out. Alien's just buying time.
He is buying time. Now, you can see Gary, the great escape, trying to run away. Apex 47 is waiting. There's Gary. He's going to be able to dash away towards TNZ. That's so many dashes. Hey, Gary gets out. It's clean, and it was easy.
Giving the thumbs up as well as he escapes that again. Maybe that's why, maybe that's why Joy's picked, because you get to do that, right? But still, is it actually value as, especially mid-late game,
team fights?
especially late game team fights? Because I can't recall who said this, but it's almost like Joy is kind of like a mosquito, right? You're just kind of buzzing around, and it looks really cool, it looks really flashy, but is the damage there, especially when you're considering it with how much magic damage is on Team Hawk? Yes, you have the Genius Wand there, right? You have the Glowing Wand already, but is this enough, Wolf, for them to start to contest these fights?
I think that he's more of a shredder. So to answer your question, it will not be enough. But if he transitions to more of a shredder and Panda will be the sweeper, surely that will be enough damage. Combination of magic as well as physical damage in an AoE setting. So that might be what Team Hack is waiting for. They're waiting for critical mass onto Panda, who is holding on to just the Wind of Nature and Golden Staff.
What?
And look at them go.
Man, forced to use a time journey. Alien chasing him down. That's going to be the damage from TNZ in the back. Flanking, getting the position down. Lola defensive, wild charge out. Panda gets out, but when... oh my god, in the time of just one basic attack from Claude, Sunshine is able to dish out, like, what, 2 passive procs?
Yeah, and look at this. Lola doesn't have the flicker, and you can see Min is dead for now. Panda will have to just back down. They don't have any team fight integrity heading into the second Lord of the game. Incendio will just take it for themselves. What Incendio did is just to force out some of the resources of Team Hack.
What?
Even the Lord was shredded.
My goodness.
I didn't even see the Lord.
He's just gone. I mean, this is a tough situation here, right?
Definitely.
And you're really wondering, again, was the Diggy the best option with all the available heroes here? And still, at some point, it's really tough for Team Hawk. They're going to have to defend in their base here as that Lord is still marching down the mid lane. And, I guess they can buy themselves more time, and that's what Gary's really trying to do, just keep pressure here in the bottom side. But still, when does Panda get to that point where he is a threat here? It's going to be really tough for them to defend.
Gary's too far.
9,000 gold, lead 2 with the Lord already in on the base turret. Team Hawk trying to defend right now, as that's going to be the top lane base turret taken down. TNZ with a Deathless Welcome, forcing a time journey early. Man, still trying to buy some time. Goes for the Shadow Stampede to zone the other members away. 1 base turret down. Gary cutting the waves in the mid lane, denying the push from Incendio Supremacy.
Just be able to push out. So what Gary was able to accomplish is to defend the turret without him being in there. That's the mid lane. However, top lane still falls to Incendio Supremacy, inching to a 9.1k gold lead for now. And all of the heroes have all of the core items that they needed. Very tanky Benedetta, very tanky Barretts, and a lot of sustain. Oh my goodness!
Wow! While in the wild charge, he gets melted down by Rosa and Sunshine. Now they're on the base. The Cold Altar has been placed, but Gary's going to be able to actually lose all that out.
Oh
my god, that single target damage is unreal. Incendio targeting base right now. Panda with a Wind of Nature. You cannot win of nature, magic, and true damage. Incendio strikes back.
My goodness. Very different game here that we saw from Incendio Supremacy. Very strong showing, too. I mean, was this the full force of the Turkish Delight, Wolf?
It seems like it. We did say, we prescribed it after the first game that they should be answering all of those split pushes that Gary was able to do. It's what they did instead is to put a hero to actually manage, I think that's Benedetta, and then ban out the 2 of the heroes that they cannot lock down. all they care about now is to control the macro game, and this time they know how to do it. I also love the early rotations coming up from the Barretts to press the issue against the Joy.
Remember when we said that the main cover peel for Incendio is going to be that damage? That damage was insane, dude.
Yeah.
What the heck? The tanks were flying. Grok was in wild charge animation. He died.
Yeah.
Sunshine, man.
Yeah.
Right? Sunshine.
Oh
this
my
is why.
God.
This justifies that carry is such a high pick
Exactly.
hero
Get him
because you saw what it does to tanks right now. It just
Exactly.
shreds, and then paired up with a Lunox.
Yeah.
You have the magic damage shred too, so it's really hard to deal with that, especially when you're talking about such a massive gold difference, right? I mean, they were just Team Hawk was constantly trying to scrap back into the game, but also a big question for me, and I'm sure even the analysts are going to break this down further because my big question is what's going on with the draft, right? I mean, very confusing. A Diggy and a Faramis, very tough there to make that work, to make that actually kind of come to fruition throughout the game, especially with, again, that big of a lead, right? I mean, maybe if things were a little bit even, it would have been better for the Team Hawk, but I got to say, I can't wait to see how this is broken down by the smart guys over there on the landing stand because we need to know. We need to know now. So, boys, take it away.
And we're going to let you boys know at the caster's desk. Thank you so much. This is the analyst tab with me, Getting Q, with Assassin Dave and as well as Jace to break down this game because so far it feels like, man, the games feel won by the draft in and of itself. And even so, Incendio has kind of found a way to push Hawk into the way they want to play.
Yeah, well, I feel like, when the Joy was picked up by Gary, right? And that's because I think Incendio Supremacy has noticed that, hey, all we need to do is try to just take away the Ling, take away the Fanny, and then all of a sudden Gary is like, okay, what can I do to buy time for my team? Yes, you have some dashes. Yes, Joy, technically speaking, is like one of the many heroes I could do, but until today, I still have questions about this Joy. What is so special about this hero? Constant ban, and if it's pick, she doesn't really perform up to what I expected a Joy would be.
See, the thing about Joy is if you put Joy in a jungle position, going in against the Wu-Bei strategy, all of a sudden the damage just feels relatively low, to the lowest you can imagine, right? Like, because of the ultimate from the Blasting Moon Goddess, there's so much heal. Now, Joy's ultimate already doesn't do that much damage. Now, with that heal, it's just going to be even less when you look at it. Joy is mostly played on the side lane with the Vengeance because that's when you go to dive to the backline and have the marksman actually kill themselves. Let's take a look at the item right here.
I mean, so far, I feel like Joy might have been a little bit of a bait strat coming in from Incendio Supremacy because it feels like they purposefully let it through. It's like, yes, we're going to get the carry. That's already a very good sign. Give us the Joy, and then we'll see how we're going to play around it because they even have secondary win conditions in Rosa in case Sunshine gets wild charged by Lola on the Grok.
Yeah, and also, I was also kind of surprised when I saw Min with the Diggy went for the Avarice Emblem instead. I mean, I thought when the Diggy wants to go for the Avarice Emblem, I thought you may be playing like, how my Venus would play. Like, I'm just going to dump all the bomb, all the damage into my bombs. I'm going to try to zone you out that way. But I can see, Gideon, you mentioned this. The main goal of the Diggy is to basically use a time journey to allow this Joy to complete her dashes, enter the ultimate, but I don't really see that happening from Team Hawk.
Exactly. Was Diggy here in this composition is really awkward, right? Because it just doesn't provide too much. There's not too much CC coming out from the side of Incendio, right? It's a pure damage, have a really beefy front line with TNZ, and Apex 47 is really providing that even beefier front line. Let's take a look at a kill participation here. Apex 47, absolute predator here on Estee's 100% kill participation.
I mean, if you only have one kill, that 100% team participation, I mean, it's really hard to see these numbers, right, Gideon?
It really is, and I think, Alien did a great job at maintaining Lola's pressure and just putting him on an island. I clear faster, I rotate faster, I maintain these trades so that I'm healthy enough to rotate and actually make a difference because every single time we see, Gary getting the perfect setup to jump into the backline, wait, where's my team? They got petrified in the ult.
Now, Alien is definitely a threat, but the spotlight I want to point out is the Estes and Barat's combo. I mean, that is just too much. You saw the lore fight, you saw the turtle fight. This guy, Tienz is literally playing like a tank mindset, right? Walking in front, soaking up all that damage. Just when you think he's about to die, Estes coming in with the rescue and turn the whole fight around with one single skill. That's absolutely insane. And with that being said, let's take a look at an MVP of the match.
MVP of this match from Incendio Supremacy. It's Sunshine with a perfect KDA.
Perfect KDA right there. Wind of Nature already built. You also got a corrosive. So everything that a growing carry needs, Sunshine has provided it all. Even already going into the tenacity boots as well that provide that tenacity buff so that the carry doesn't really get stunned out too long, and also even building some magic resist so that Sunshine can stay longer in these team fights.
Now the thing about having carry and just able to do damage for free, especially when you pick out Diggy, you don't have anything to stop the carry from doing the damage, right? I was expecting actually from the team side of Hawk to pick out Lolita or Chao to isolate maybe Estes heal, right? Or to isolate the carry, but instead we see the carry doing damage for free. And let's take a look off the heat map. Oh my goodness!
Look at
God.
And this is between the 5-minute mark to the 10-minute mark. After the gold lane was done and settled, he started putting so much pressure towards the EXP lane, and even so, started invading into the enemy jungle. He gets to walk in for free. The entire strategy, again, just inspired by Blacklist International. Have 5 members. You got the bodyguard squad.
Yes.
Walk in, take what you want, get back out.
Yeah, this is like the heat map of a jungler. If you tell me this is a heat map of a marksman, I'm like, no, my heat map of a marksman, I see one lane and one lane only. But Sunshine was able to be afforded so much space, and that's because of that Turkish Delight strat.
And that's the essence of this Wu Wei strategy, right? Once the marksmen get the tower up the goal lane, they start switching lane, go to the other side, and then you start going together, the 4 men taking the bottom EXP lane tower, and then going to the jungle, start taking everything together. Every time, wherever this carry is, you can think of that's the entire side of Incendio. That's where they are the entire time, right? So his heat map actually reflects the entire heat map for the side of Incendio. So very, very good rotation, very, very powerful and aggressive rotation from that game. Going to game 3, are we going to see a C-SPAN?
Oh, honestly, I do feel like there might just be it. I don't know how they're feeling right now, but let's have a look with what Mara's doing with some of the Team Hawk supers.
We're here with the supporters from Team Hawk! And they got their drums with them. All right. Here we go. So let me know who you find to be the best players in Team Hawk. Who would you say has the best personality?
Based on our opinion, the best player that got the best personality is Gary.
Gary? Why?
Gary!
Why? Do you agree?
Okay, why Gary? Why is Gary the best player, the best personality?
Because he's the one who close with us, even though we are the fans, but he want to know a lot about the fans. So I think he's got the best personality.
Oh my God, how nice is Gary? Come on, give a big shout out for Gary! Yibombe!
Okay, I'm sorry, I just hit his finger. Okay, if you think, what do you think the heroes they need to use right now to make sure that they win the next game?
I think Gary should be pick Gary, Ling or Fanny again for that game.
Ling or Fanny?
Yes.
Okay, now if you could eliminate from the opponent, one player from the opponent, you don't want that player to play anymore because that player is too good. They're giving Team Hawk a hard time. Who should we take out?
Rosa is too dangerous apparently. Rosa is too dangerous apparently. Now, okay, you guys talk about the play you want to take out, right? Okay, public enemy, Malaysia #1. When Wolf is casting or analyzing, Team Malaysia loses. If Team Hawk loses, will we go find Wolf?
I will give Harun to answer the question.
Come on, will you?
We will find Wolf until the bottom of the worm.
In Malaysia, we say, we cari wolf sampai lubang cacing. Yeah. We will chase after wolf till the ends of the world. Wolf, be careful.
Whoa! Oh my God, you're in trouble now. Okay, now the players can hear you right now. What do you want to say to them? Let's pump them up, okay? Say something very encouraging, and you better make sure it has a magic spell to pump them up. Go.
To other players, we know you can do it. That's why we are here. We are from Asia, come here to support all of you guys. And I know all of us know that you guys can win this game and be the best among the best.
Be the best amongst the best. And now, let's gather all the Malaysian viewers to support Team Hawk. Go ahead.
You can comment down and like, Ibame!
All right. Good job, guys. I'm sure that they felt that energy. Now, we're going to go back to the caster's desk and see what they have to say. Casters.
I know, Wolf. I know.
Can they see me now?
They can see you now. Welcome back to the caster desk here. Again, I'm Naisu, joined here with Mirko. And this is Wolf.
Public enemy number 1 for Malaysia and SG.
Wow.
Well, what's going on here?
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. But then again, you saw that
It's a close
so far,
up to you.
It's a close-up. I'd just like to send a message to all of my Malaysian and Singaporean friends out there. This is not my fault. Honestly, you would think that I am bad luck, but it's actually Gideon and Lafell who is also there with me. So am I the one in trouble, or is it Lafell and Gideon?
Well,
think about that.
Well, we'll leave that to the viewers and the fans out there, but I'll help you, Wolf. I'll protect you. Don't worry. But, okay, going back here, this is the first, by the way, this is from yesterday and today. This is the first series now going 3 games. Yesterday was a complete sweep. Last
first
series,
match.
yeah, first match was a sweep. And now, so we have game number 3 upon us, and this is a crucial. I mean, this is literally, and now we said this earlier, there was a do or die situation for both these teams. Now it is, right?
Welcome
now
to group stage.
Now welcome to the knockout stage.
Group stage, best of 1.
Group stage, best
We're
of
back
1.
to a best of 1 for the first time in the lower brackets, right?
Yeah.
1-1, best of 1. And who has the edge here?
Okay, so what we saw from Incendio Supremacy is that they banned out. They literally just denied Gary to play a game, banning out 2 of the stronger heroes, Fanny as well as the Ling, and then just force him to pick up the Joy. Maybe if Team Hack will also decide to go that route, maybe if they ban out the Estes this time, it could be a totally different story. So who has the advantage? I think that both teams, there's no advantage here. So far, it has been really good for both teams when they win.
Well,
strangely enough for me, right? The Kaja.
The Kaja
wasn't picked. It was completely ignored in the draft for game number 2. Not banned, not picked.
I love this, by the way. You know, we've got this highlight, the headline here. Unexpected performances from unsung underdogs. Yeah. And, I mean, what more of a poetic way for it to come down for these 2 teams who were seen as underdogs, right? And now it comes down to that one game. And, you know, I'm sure everybody is speculating the draft for game number 3. And we've already made some good points, specifically, too. I mean, again, back to it, is Joy just picked up because it's open? I mean, it's constantly banned out. I mean, I'm not sure 100% what the ban rate of Joy is, but still, I feel like, now, maybe, again, if you didn't have the digging, you didn't have the Faramis, maybe we could have seen a different result with that Joy pick, but still, I agree with the fans out there, especially from Team Hawk. Give Gary something to be proactive on instead of that Joy that does damage and isn't just, you know, flashy.
Not just a mosquito. We need a Gary hero this time. I mean, we saw that he played the Joy really well. Unfortunately, they weren't able to use it in a composition setting. So it wasn't a full team effort coming out from Team Hack when they wanted to pick up the Joy. Maybe if they chose something like a Lolita, which we kind of thought that would be the case for their last pick, instead of a Diggy, totally different. Surely Diggy is still a teamfight hero, but you don't have an actual stun, and you don't have an actual engage in the previous game.
I think you can actually say that that was Incendio Supremacy's doing, right? We're talking about Gary not getting his pick, but if we take a look at the drafts again, it was banned out, or it was picked away from him. We saw that the Ling was actually banned out in the second phase of the draft. The Haya was open, but up against that composition that really wants to stick together, I don't think it'll really work, right? The Haya could have worked, maybe in game number 1, but it doesn't matter. They already won game number 1.
Well, I think you're right off the bat, if you really want to, start having those respect bans come out, right? Take out that Estes if you're Team Hawk. You don't want to play around that Turkish Delight Ube strat, that sustainability. just take it out with the draft here. Again, I feel like the previous game's draft was something that was very unorthodox from what we've seen so far throughout the tournament. And now this time, again, with it being down to basically a best of one, you're going to see those respect bands coming out here between these two teams. And still, I feel like they're going to target Gary. And again, for Team Hawk, just go ahead and take out the Eztez and then follow up from there.
At this point, you will respect Incendio Supremacy's mastery of that kind of hero. It's not just above the heroes, how they move towards it, the way that they're baiting out the spells. In fact, if you look at game number 2, the way they utilize the ultimate, the Moonlight Immersion, coming out from the Estes, they timed it perfectly well. They wait for the full committal coming out from Team Hack so that they can punish. There will be a certain point in time where you're confident you can get a kill. Then eventually the ultimate pops up and now you're in a bad spot. That happened in the first turtle, or actually the second and first turtle, the team fight that we saw. And maybe this is also the time where you should be denying Incendio Supremacy of their strength in the early stages of the game. They have been given a lot of free stuff in the early stages, which should not happen against a team that really likes to group up.
Well, I mean, again, we're just moments away from the draft here. We are going to be looking, I believe, at a player head-to-head possibly between these two teams. And even going back while we're waiting for that, I still want to point out the fact, too, this could be a moment for that Malaysian switch up, right? That's kind of what we saw from both teams before, where they kind of do something tricky. Yeah. Some people consider it a cheese chat, some people just the Malaysian shuffle, if you will. That's something that you have to consider if you're Incendio Supremacy here, because what we saw is when they have that strong start, they do so well with the momentum. Now, those kind of switch ups, whether it's a lane swap or anything else, really puts people by surprise. It takes them by surprise, and it gives you that advantage.
I want to talk a little bit about the carry pick, right? Because the carry pick was really good, obviously. First pick for Incendio Supremacy. I didn't like the response towards the carry pick. Picking up a Claude. Again, we mentioned this in the draft itself in game number 2. Carry does really well up against a Claude. The main problem in game number 2, again, was that carry. So with Panda on the weak side of the map, even though he was getting a lot of attention from the mid lane and even from the Diggy, just shows that I think they got it wrong. They got the priority wrong there. They're looking to play around the weak side of the map up against a losing matchup when they could have actually played for the Grok. If they went for the Grok, if they caught Alien or just made him low a little bit, get a few turtles on the board from that winning lane, they would have been able to at least make it a fight.
Yeah, there's a severe lack of damage that we saw coming out from Team Hack because they chose the Joy, and Joy is not an actual DPS source. Yeah. Sustain for sure, it's there. Damage over time that will come out from Joy, but when it comes to actual burst, they don't have a shredder, unless of course the Cloud gets fully packed with items, which did not happen. So maybe a Harith could have been there. It's a good lane matchup versus the carry, if you think about it. And like we said, maybe something like a Lolita together with something like a Farsa or something else. I do like the Grok choice coming out from Team Hack, though. Really? They are playing it correctly, I think. It's also a good lane control kind of hero. So that might be also a hero of contention between these two teams.
I think overall, there's so many combinations that you can go with these heroes that we see often picked here. But at the same time, again, if you just take out the Eztez, it adds so much more variety that you can see thrown on the table because you don't have to deal with so much sustainability. But now here we are, game number 3 draft upon us. The crucial matchup between Team Hawk here and Incendio Supremacy. So it's going to be Team Hawk on the blue, Incendio Supremacy on the red. Already 2 heroes. There's the Marches and the 1-1 band.
Fun little pattern here for this series. First pick is still at a 100% win rate. Yeah. So Team Hawk now back in first pick. Last time they still went for the first pick carry, right? I think now it's time for Incendio to say, hey, no more carry.
No more carry. Just like the glue treatment coming out from Team Hack previously. I do agree with that because so far the teams that pick up the carry I think won all of the games.
Yeah, 100% win rate.
Yeah, for the series, I mean. For the series. So that is... that's an important stat because carry is not only stat-wise very strong, it still also is strong as a hero. Well, instead of the S, it's going to be the Barretts.
Wow.
Maybe they don't. You know, I mean, they could just be looking, Team Hawk could be just looking to take the carry possibly here. Again, with Barrett's coming out, the ban, and that Martes, you're taking out two of those high utility-focused jungler options, and you're going to kind of force a hand here from Incendio Supremacy specifically, but still, I'm wondering what their last ban is going to be here.
You know, that's actually a really good point there, Naiso, because now you're only left with one last ban for Incendio Supremacy. Are you going to ban out something like a glue or a carry or the Ling? That has been a problem.
I think carry, right? You need to go for the carry ban right now. The only 100% win rate hero in this series has been that carry, and you can see Team Hawk are leaning on it. They want to pick up that carry. They're literally just forcing Incendio. Go. Leave it open. Leave it open one more time. Let's see what happens here. I dare you. But Incendio, they can't fall.
Okay. It's all about fire from both teams this time. Don't deny the comfort picks from your opponents. Let us play with the best composition that we have. Best heroes against best heroes. I don't know why you're worried. I'm happy about this. We're going to see some explosions in game number 3.
There's the first pickup with the carry.
Wow.
Going in the hands of Team Hawk.
So do you go glue immediately this
Glue
time?
Kaja. Pick up the Kaja. You need someone to lock this guy down, because you need someone to CC her. And with the Grok Kaja, you have just 2 CC abilities that can really shut her down. Remember, close range, as long as you don't let her basic attack, you're good. But if she basic attacks with full items, you're done. You're done.
I just don't want it to happen something like a Glue plus Farsa or a Benedetta plus Farsa for Incendio Supremacy. Well, while it makes sense, it's not the best case in a knockout stage wherein you can be eliminated. They locked it in. Farsa and Benedetta don't.
Hold on. Is it okay?
They did it.
Well, they're going for it. Hey,
I jinxed it.
To be fair, we did see a massive game previously with Benedetta, right?
I agree.
It's there, but I guess this leaves the question: does Team Hawk actually just go ahead and secure the Kaja for themselves? Do they want to go that route? Again, Valentina still open as well.
Grok Fanny.
Or Ling. I mean, Fanny's banned out.
All right, Grok Ling.
Grok banned out.
At this point,
Ling Glue.
Hayabusa.
Glue Ling.
Up against the Farsa.
See, this draft leaves so much open basically
I
at
think
this
you go
point.
Glue and Ling this time. No reason not to. I mean, Ling, Gary is still very
Ling.
Say hot, I would say, or still, you know.
I mean, I feel like the players themselves feeling this. That's Kadita Yuzhong.
There's the curveball. There's the curveball.
I mean, that's the dive you need up against the Farsa. Remember in game number 1, I think I just auto-piloted to game number 1 because I said the Fanny. Fanny was banned out. The hero that wasn't banned out, that was banned out in game 1, was the Yuzhong, right? So it's up now. Team Hawk, just pick it up. Why not?
Not to mention, this is also what we saw from game 1. The statistic, the Kadita pick for Man. What was they call them? The Shaman. Shaman, right?
That was actually banned out as well in game number 1.
So this is pretty much comfort at this point, right? I mean,
for both teams.
Just give it your all here on the best heroes you can. Now, you're still going to see those bans coming out from Incendio Supremacy, focusing on Gary. So still, it leaves to question, and you were wondering, even I mentioned the Hayabusa possibly, but like you guys said, you really don't want to go with that against the kind of Turkish Delight Ube strategy with that Estes there.
Okay, so Team Hawk will want to ban out the Fredrin together with the Barretts and maybe another tank here in the front lines, or they might even consider banning out the Harith this time. Because the way that I see it, even when there's like a Kadita and Yuzhong, because of the presence of the Estes and the fact that you have that passive for the Harith wherein you kind of reduce the crowd control that you have, it might be a consideration as a gold laner for Incendio Supremacy.
Well, in game 1, they did go for that Fredrin, right? So you can see where Team Hawk are going. In game number 1 as well, they just banned out the gold lane, which is also still a very viable ban to go for. You have a carry, something like a Brody can bully the carry early on. So we saw that in game 1. I think I'm going to expect the same thing here. But for Incendio, this is where it gets really... Hilda. All right, they just went for the same ban,
Well, I mean, best... Again, so much is left open that you're just kind of you're going through that checkbox list of yours.
Wow.
Okay.
Not expecting the Guinevere ban.
They did pick it up versus a Blacklist International game number 1. So just Team Hack with due diligence against
Is it time for Valentina jungle?
This is literally 4 heroes banned towards the jungle from Team Hawk.
You're right.
I mean,
the Grok technically can
could,
jungle,
yeah.
so 5 jungle bans, right? Just
Yeah.
thumbnail.
thumbnail. Well, again, it's going to force the hand from Incendio Supremacy specifically, right? On what jungle you want to play around
Brody
here
is
with.
available.
Yeah.
Brody might be the choice. I'm thinking either Brody or the
Agreed.
Harith.
Oh, you can see it. There you go.
That's-
That's what they go for. This is the game they went for yesterday.
Correct.
Oh, against MDH, they picked
Yeah.
up the Leomord, and guess what their last pick was? It was the Brody.
Was the Brody? I wonder if they are considering something like a Kufra now for Team Hawk. Great versus the Leomord as well as the
Yeah.
Benedetta. You have the jump, you have the protection. Something along the lines of, or what about a Baxia in the jungle for Team Hack? We saw that.
It's not a very Gary thing to do.
It's not a very.
It's not a Gary thing to do,
Yeah.
but going against Estes, it's a great thing to have.
I
At
agree.
least on the team composition with the way the passive works here and
With
everything
Fanny
else.
and Ling banned out,
Yeah.
might as well, right? If you're forced to
Oh.
play utility, go for just some anti-region.
Or maybe a Diroth. Maybe we can see that. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a Gary hero, and
That's a
that's a
Gary hero.
Lolita.
That's a Gary thing to do.
That's a Gary thing to do.
Lock it in, go the Hayabusa. He heard my suggestion earlier.
Yeah.
He heard what you guys said, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to show these guys.
They also kind of like pre-countered the Brody, right, with
Yeah.
the Lolita. So, hey, go ahead, pick up the Brody. We'll see what we'll do up against that Brody. Other options, Iritho, we mentioned it. Brody, you know what? Up against this, I don't know. Melissa can technically still work. It's very tough to pull it off. They
That was
still
the
go
Brody.
for the Brody. Up against the Lolita, up against the Haya too. I like the single target stun, the lockdown
Yeah.
that he has. But remember, that damage can just be completely nullified.
Well, I mean, it worked for them yesterday, right? You mentioned this, the Brody Leomord combination that they pulled out.
Brody, Leomord, Farsa.
Yeah, Farsa. Estes has been working wonders
Yeah.
for them as well. So why not have that comfort here
Yep.
for your last game, potentially
Exactly.
last game?
Exactly. This is what I like about what the draft, how the draft developed. I mean, they didn't care about the glue anyways. The Kaja,
yeah.
both two of the heroes that are always in the discussion, right? Even Valentina is denied. Like 3 of the top dogs so far in the top bands denied, not even considered. Even the Joy actually.
You can see the adaptations that both teams have been making, the progress in this meta, just based on one series. They are improving this much. So I can't wait to jump into this one,
Yeah.
Naisu.
I can't wait either because here we go into the land of dawn. Our first game 3 in the series of knockouts. It's Team Hawk versus Incendio Supremacy. Who's staying in M4 and who's going home?
This is such a high stakes match, and I
Yeah.
love the fact that they went for comfort
Yes.
in this kind of
I
setting.
really want to point that out because in the game that they can get out of the tournament or stay in, face a team that will come out from the upper bracket. They bring out the big guns. Alien was amazing with this Benedetta. Rosa, very aggressive with the Farsa when he controls it. And that's also true with Apex, TNZ, and Sunshine. Whereas Team Hack, Gary with the Hayabusa, even when it's not that good, theoretically speaking, against the Estes, he will go back to comfort. Everybody just wants to play the best MOBP
that they can.
that
That
they
they
can.
can. I mean, looking across the board here, hold on, already early action.
Rosa dodging away, getting the healing done as well, but it's going to be first blood over to Min. Team Hawk strike first again.
All right, so they start off on a good foot here for Team Hawk, but still, you got to consider the fact you're working with 2 Petrifies. You've got Man and Lolo running with that. Now, on the other side, Incendio Supremacy, they've got those 2 Purifies, right? Those micro decisions as the game unfolds here are going to be crucial if they can find setups. TNC, though.
Uh-oh, there you go. Min still having some peel there. Rosa coming back in, looking for the stun, gets it down. TNC picks it up. Gary, Weaver re-engaged right now, but the healing comes through from Apex 47. Gary losing out on that trade, forced to back away.
And this means that they will now have the Phantom Steed heading into the first turtle of the game. They did take out one important hero, though, from Team Hack. So that is 1 for 1 when it comes to the first few kills. Although, this is not like the best situation for Incendio Supremacy. The thing is, they will have ultimates up on Rosa.
That's what I was going to say. You know, they've got, I mean, they're looking for another kill here from Team for Incendio Supremacy to lead into this first objective of the game, the turtle here. But still, you can even see, right? Min and Man in position, looking for any advantage they can find, but TNZ not going to be fooled.
A good read, but still walks into the bush. The rough waves and the petrify. TNZ can fall. But the airstrike now coming down onto Man, and that's Alien who picks up a trade. Jungler for mid lane. 1 for 1.
All right, so they trade that. I mean, Team Hawk could be in a position to just go ahead and take this. It might be better for Incendio Supremacy. Just give it up, right? You don't. Now TNZ's up, but he doesn't have the retribution either. So just like that first objective, Alien though.
Alien wants it, jumps in with the final blow, almost stealing it away, but Gary is absolutely
Happy
on
New
point
Year.
with that retribution.
Unfortunately for Incendio Supremacy, their plan was to get level 4 to Apex 47. That's why they put him even when he's roaming, he was in the mid lane. And Rosa went to the XP lane so that he'll get his level 4. Along the way, because they were focused on getting their ultimates up, at the middle, TNZ was found by Man with the Petrify combo. He was shut down. And that was very bad for Incendio Supremacy because now they will concede the turtle. Gary, as a Hayabusa, doesn't have the innate advantage during the turtle fights. And them getting the first turtle of the game is massive for the Malaysian squad.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was all a result of, you know, taking out TNZ there early on and playing around with that. Setup though.
Blast and the flicker. Sunshine caught in the gold lane. And now Panda's going to go on to that turret gold. Phantom Seed by TNZ onto Gary. Bring it back right there. That's a lot of damage. Rosa trying to follow it up. Doesn't even need to be here. TNZ jumps in again with a Phantom Charge. Min is low. TNZ getting the healing back in. Airstrike comes through and Man's going to be falling down to TNZ.
Rosa on point. That's starting to cancel the animation of the rough waves. And you're gonna have to hand it to TNC. He punished Gary, knowing that there's no shadow, no quad shadow already for Gary. Was able to pull him back with the ultimate.
Black Dragon form though now onto Rosa. The Petrify only finding TNZ. Rosa had the Purify out. Then on blast now, no flicker, but it finds TNZ. Still having the healing, torn apart memory, being popped out by Sunshine to zone the other members away.
Tough situation again. You know, you have a lot of those, that CC and ultimate available to you, but unfortunately Panda was already, what, half health, not able to really commit to that fight here. So Team Hawk kind of struggling, and Incendio Supremacy continuing to build up on this lead here. 1K gold, next turtle comes up. They're in a great position to actually go ahead and win this next objective fight as they still battle out in the mid lane.
Alien now still in the midst of it all. Gonna try to go for the Petrify final blow onto mid in front of the kill. And that's gonna be Man getting out barely with the rough waves, getting the passive back in as well. But the sustainability from Apex 47 has been phenomenal. They're looking for more now. Quad Shadow in for the airstrike. Doesn't Gary falls down. Rosa is an absolute Chad, just stands there menacingly.
Oh, definitely. That is the term that I'm looking for. So much of a Chad because he went in forward, being a Farsa against a Hayabusa. And the best thing is he was able to land the stun, the passive control of Rosa, back-to-back stuns from top lane and now into the bottom lane. He's able to punish all of these slippery heroes as if they were easy targets. And Incendio Supremacy are really just on fire right now.
Look at the flanks here. You can see the Phantom Steed, and it's the collapse onto Min. The airstrike comes down. Min's gonna be stunned up. Min's gonna fall. Has the shielding up. The conceal is not enough to get him out. Panda now under the turret. Man trying to get the breath of the ocean down. Incendio back off, looking for the turret.
This is the thing. I mean, the sustain. The sustain is what is the huge obstacle standing in front of Team Hawk right now. And it's just too much for them to work with. I mean, wow. Panda's still scrambling here to really just farm up as much as possible. And it's Incendio Supremacy throwing everything at Team Hawk. Meanwhile, again, Alien having a great game so far in this Benedetta pick.
Look at this. Apex 47 actually opted to go for the Thq Vs. And yeah, Alien, dude, this is the reason why they didn't pick up the glue. The reason why they pick up both Farsa and Benedetta as their first two picks is because they have mastered it so well. Rosa landing all of those stats. Alien controlling the lane so well, cutting the waves and even outplaying Gary at that moment. 0 and 3 for the Hayabusa. We thought that this would be a bad idea to pick up the Hayabusa, and now Team Max getting punished because of it.
Well, the Phantom Steed again. Incendio are looking for it. Tianzi bringing Lola back. The Feather Airstrike not connecting just yet, but that's going to be the Black Dragon form popped in. Lola looking for some damage. That's a lot from Sunshine. And
Alien.
both of the teams, you know.
Alien.
This just looks like tilt coming out from Team Hawk. They can't land anything that they want to. They are frustrated on what's going on here. Incendio Supremacy in complete control here. Alien pushing in that bottom side. This is going to be just a free turtle for them. And yeah, going back to the question, do you really want to pick Hayabusa into this lineup, especially with Eztez there? Massive game across the board here for Incendio Supremacy.
We mentioned why the Hayabusa wasn't picked earlier is because they're going to be clumping up. What's the Hayabusa supposed to do on a high and dry emblem?
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Incendio, they haven't changed their strat. Tianzi, though, is very aggressive compared to last game. Still under the tier 1, just zoning Team Hawk away for the rest of the members to siege it down.
Yeah. The only hero that will be away from the rest of the team is Alien's Benedetta. And the Benedetta is not a squishy target. In fact, he can actually use the iframes to get out of the Hayabusa's damage range. And he's even like outputting more damage compared to Gary.
1 versus 2.
Everything's just going in favor of Incendio right now. I also want to commend TNZ. I think his mastery of the Leomord is top-notch.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a glimpse of this yesterday. And again, why they swept that match they had, they're still going for it. I mean, in a great fashion here, man.
Petrified, that Sunshine caught. A good trade back finally for Team Hawk to get some momentum back on their side.
I mean, even with that kill, it's a massive lead here. Gary, no.
Gary jumps in onto 3 and they were waiting for it. Man now might actually fall off the eye for it. Oh my god, that damage is unreal. Double kill, 5-0. Never tell Alien the odds. Tianzi going in onto Min. Lola's the one who's forced to back away in a 2v1 situation. And Incendio are dominating the Malaysian champions.
After a great kill coming out from Man, the Kadita, the Shaman, they managed to have a big blunder against Incendio Supremacy. Gary wasn't supposed to be there. You'll understand that they have many members out there. They have the Kadita as well as the Hayabusa, but they didn't have the damage. In fact, Gary was taken out so easily. And the fact of the matter remains, Alien is so stacked right now with the Bloodlust Axe and 2 casual items with the Black Ice Shield as well as the leg plates. It means that he's very tanky against the physical damage of Team Hack.
Honestly, if you're looking at this game, Panda, at some point, this is what we see so often with Carry. Either it shines or the team composition does so well against it that it just shuts it down. And that short range on this carry isn't enough to even get in the zone here. I mean, you're looking at Tianzi just constantly going in with the Phantom Steed, pushing people around, and then the artillery coming out from Rosa. And we haven't even, I mean, we've talked a little bit about Alien, but the guy is just massive on this Benedetta, just like the previous game here. So it's so many obstacles, so many steps for Team Hawk, and now they've got the Lord to deal with on the top side.
Great spot for Man, but he doesn't have enough against this. Alien does not spot out Gary, and TNT actually just utilizes the ultimate out of nowhere. I wonder what the next items will be coming off for TNT. Is he considering tanking up with the Dreadnought armor?
Actually pops in the Phantom Steed here early on. I think he thought that Man would be there inside of the bush, but they're already slow pushing the waves there. It was cleared out earlier. Top lane going to be coming down with Feather Airstrike as well. Rosa might be caught, has the Purify to get out of the Petrify that was placed by Man. Now it's going to be the Petrify by Lola, finding a few. Numenau blast onto 2. The healing comes in. Apex 47 still able to out-sustain as that's going to be Alien picking up the base turret in the mid lane. Now in the 3v4, it's Man jumping in. Tianzi back at it with Phantom Steed. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, in a 1v1, Alien is able to actually dish out so much damage, sieging that base turret down very, very low. Incendio loses 1, but they might be able to actually get another here.
Well, they're still going for it. 1 hit away on this turret, trying to defend their best and hold on to it. They still have that mid lane exposed here. It's going to take a lot for Team Hawk. I mean, they find 1, but usually after that, they fizzle out, right? And that's just because of this disparity in terms of items for them. Now, Min at some point, it could be a game-changing Numenon Blast. If they can find another target, get that numbers advantage, land the ultimates like they need to, overlap them, then they're going to be in a good position.
Oh no, Gary jumps in with a shadow kill. Does he have the quad shadow to get out? He does, but it's going to be read out by Incendio. Gary, no more movement abilities. TNC recalling on his dead body. Incendio wants to look for the end here. Man with the flame! Trying to save the game, but Apex out-heals the damage. Man now running for the hills. Lola jumping in with a Hail Mary play onto Rosa. The Petrify connects with the Purifiers there. Not enough once again. The Numenon Blast connects on a 2. But Alien connects on a 2 as well. That's the damage by Alien, by TNC. 3 for 1. Incendio looking for the end to upset the odds against the Malaysian champions.
All minions.
They're going to hold
Gary's
on.
available right now.
TNC though, still okay. That was almost a situation where Incendio could have ended the game here. They take the discipline route, they back off, they get the Lord for this one. It should be uncontested. Team Hawk just scrapping for anything they can. I mean, Gary's got to be very careful on his next decision here, because another mistake like that will cost them the game.
What I saw from the last sequence of events for Team Hack is that their backs are against the ropes and they're going for all Hail Mary plays, and they're okay to get hit by Incendio Supremacy, and every punch that's thrown into them definitely hurts.
Wow.
Man almost going for a double knock-up into a double kill. However, the sustain coming out from Incendio Supremacy was there, and then the follow-up coming out from Min, utilizing the ultimate. Then comes Lola. What I saw from that is Team Max not coordinating their ultimates that well. Had it been that they come in together as one, as a team, that could be a completely different story. But this time, Incendio will get the second turtle of the game.
What are you supposed to do against this, man? I mean, 10,000 gold lead at this point.
10K here, Lord in the mid side. They're going to have to deal with it. They're going to be losing this man, making his way down though. Can they defend?
Well, let's see the Phantom Steed once again. Lola. Oh! Numenon Blast! On 10-3! Apex 47 going to be knocked up here as the Guyovich comes in. TNC's going to be taken low. The Malaysians are here. They've defended for another day. Man finds the breath of the ocean. Panda jumps in onto 3. They've defended for a bit. 14 minutes in.
Massive setup there. The Numenon Blast can change a game. It can change a moment here. Now they only get 2 down from Incendio Supremacy, but still working to get some space across the map. Again, you saw the gold lead here just a little bit ago and how much of an advantage Incendio Supremacy has. And even the items, Wolf, is there any saving grace here for Team Hawk as they try to make a play?
If they do find the openings, if they combo it up together, Man being an assassin, like a Kadira assassin, and then of course Min just initiating against Incendio, and of course you have to use the ultimate coming out from Lola. If they combo it up together, you see the difference. They're looking really good. Now they have the damage. We come to a point that even when there's a 6.1k golded from Incendio Supremacy, you still have the chance. This is what Team Hack needs to do. They have to be disciplined. They have to be patient. They have to wait for their openings. Till then, Incendio will have the advantage.
Finally, Panda has gotten that item power spike. Right now, you can onto Alien. Alien can be taken low. Eye for an eye popped in with a feather airstrike. 2 onto Man. Sniping him down. The punish from Incendio Supremacy as they look to capitalize on this man advantage.
Oh, that was tough here. Now, that could very well be the defining moment as Incendio Supremacy going to march down in the mid lane. No. They don't have Lord, but Black Dragon form comes out.
4v5. That's going to be the final blow. Connecting onto Panda, who's going to be able to cut away for now. That's Lola in the front line. Panda now looking for the damage once again as the torn apart memory comes in. That's them now blast charged in. That's one member taken out. Rosa's going to be taken low when the healing comes in. It is too much for the Malaysian champions. Incendio have done it again.
Man, call them the dark horse if you want, the Turkish delight. They're here making another statement. They deserve this celebration as they just took out Malaysia's champions.
Out of this world performance from Alien. as Incendio Supremacy served the Turkish delight to the Malaysians. In the last sequence of events, they have picked up man. Nobody died from side of Team Malaysia, from Team Incendio Supremacy. Eventually, in the mid lane, the usage of the Yuzhong ultimate was far too early. They have found the opening in the clutch winter truncheon from Rosa, inviting so many members of Malaysia to commit onto him. And that's the reason why there were no more resources for Malaysia to work with. The ending push, the end game from Incendio Supremacy looked clean.
My goodness. Just cheer for them. They deserve it. The reverse sweep here in our first 3-game series.
Raise the Turkish flag up high. Give it up one more time to Incendio Supremacy.
That's it for us here on the desk. Analysts, break this one down.
Done once again. The Turkish delights now come on and move on to the next stage. Unfortunately for Team Hawk, they're going to be going home. But man, the two things Malaysians are known for, crazy weird drafts, but also making the West feel like absolute monsters. It started with Na'Vi, and now we have Incendio Supremacy.
Incendio Gaming. Oh my god, that was insane. Now I owe 30 push-ups to Leo. I gotta say, dude, that was incredible what they pulled off. You know, I usually don't expect a damaged jungle with this stage to work so well, but with momentum, with confidence, everything's possible, dude.
To be honest, guys, I feel like when I saw Incendio Supremacy's draft, I thought, you know, yes, the Leomord's going to go up far ahead. And the Estes will have a lot of time trying to catch up with the Leomord. However, this Turkish Delight strategy worked so well. I feel like this draft, of all the drafts I've ever seen in my entire career, this is perhaps my favorite draft. You got the Farsa to go in, initiate with a feather airstrike, and then after that, Leomord goes in to clean up. If just in case the Leomord doesn't clean up, Brody is there. Everything works so well for Incendio.
A lot of weird moves coming out. So many interesting plays, but at the end of the day, like you mentioned it in the back room, Dave, the momentum carrying over from Game 2 into Game 3.
Absolutely. At the same time, you gotta give shout out to Team Hawk for pulling a great performance. However, in Game 3, it felt like they're pulling their punches, right? You know, they had a momentum in the beginning of the game. They got first blood. They had a great rotation to the top side, finding the kill. But yet, you know, some weird rotations coming from the EXP laner. You saw the Yuzhong coming all the way from bottom side, giving a lot of free gold to the Benedetta. You know, he got a full gold plate and just absolutely destroyed the backline along with Leomord. What a game. Oh my god, I'm speechless.
Look, we can break it down even more. Let's have a look at the item builds and maybe we can get a little bit of a better idea.
Yeah, just taking a look at the item builds right here, I feel like from the side of Team Hawk, if you notice how man is scrounging, looking for those big Omega bursts, but it's always countered by Apex 47. 1016 is his KDA. He's got the book as well, it's spamming the heal for days, and even just in case Man catches anyone, or even Lola comes in for the engage, you expect instead Apex 47, this Embolus, this portable base, just healing Incendio up to tip-top shape.
And I gotta give credit to Alien though. This guy 705. I mean, his mechanics is insane. He's actually playing out of the world. You know, when I first get introduced to Incendio, they introduced this guy as the player out of this world because the name is Alien. But his playstyle is actually out of this world. This guy is living up to his name. He just single-handedly punished Panda, punished Man as well. I mean, find vision all the time. And dude, those executions